minutes of the last meeting. Do you have any questions on the bills? This is probably where I should say there was a check cut that I did not sign for Manson Northwest Webster Community School, and that pertains to the student that was at Radnor Ranch, agreed upon. They billed us again, first time since April or prior to that, or March, first time they billed us. We still have a balance of tuition cost due of $453.32. The total bill that they billed us is $17,709.32. We're still disputing the transportation cost. I don't know if you want to do that separately and the rest of the bills. Why don't we do that? Why don't we do the rest of the bills and then do that one separately? So it's a matter of record.
Need a motion?
Need a motion for the consent items, yes.
Okay, and that being separate.
Right.
I so move exactly what you said.
This consent items, okay. Is there a second? Second. Thank you, Marty. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion carried. Okay, we can address the Manson Northwest Webster bill for the Radnor Ranch student. I guess I'd entertain a motion to pay them the tuition, leaving the transportation in question.
I so move.
Second. Okay. Is there any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. It'll be $453.32 is the amount, Frank.
Sure, and when we get to it with WLBA, I would ask that both boards then direct us on what you want us to do regarding the transportation fee. Investing again, I inherited this, so I don't know I'm learning. But we'd like some direction from the board on what you want us to do administratively with the transportation piece of it, because from an outside perspective, of course, the contract's here and you're contesting that, and okay, that's good, makes some sense, but give us some direction.
Sure. I tried to explain to Kevin today that these students, first of all, are sent there without our knowledge. We don't even know that they're going. And I think you remember that I pursued this up to the second judicial judge, and the judicial system says they have no money. After that, I went to the Democratic caucus, who was working with the Department of Education and the Legislative Oversight Committee. So the Department of Education had addressed it and has never returned an email since April to me. So, and I wasn't in the office all day today, so I didn't pursue that with her today, but I can this week. So I guess what we tell Kevin is to send this back and tell them we're paying the tuition, and that we're still investigating the transportation, the Department of Education, and the Legislative Oversight Committee. Is that what you want?
Okay.
That sounds good to me. The only other thing I would ask for maybe is maybe an accounting, a full accounting of when those students were, when and where and how, every time. I mean, they told us it was 17,000. Maybe there was a big long list of days they were picked up and dropped off and all that stuff. But I haven't seen that list. And I guess I'd like to have that presented.
Did Barb ever receive any reports on those students at all?
I don't really need to report as far as how the students are doing. I'm just asking when the kid was there and when the kid got picked up, dropped off, all that stuff.
Didn't you receive one?
I was just going to, yeah, we did start receiving them after Barb kind of got on about it. Now, I haven't got one because the one young man went through most of the summer. I haven't got anything this summer from him.
Was that the LBA student that went during the summer?
Yes,
okay.
yes, yeah.
Didn't we start providing the transportation with Southern Cal, or did that go through?
Yeah, we were their student. The student at SACAD went back to his home district.
Oh, okay.
We did say that towards the end of the school year. And then once our school year is over, it's not our responsibility for transportation. We're only responsible for transportation 180 days
Right.
of the session.
Who pays the summer?
Yeah.
Radnor footed the bill.
Oh.
Am I right on that? Yeah, I don't know who, I don't know. We didn't. Yeah.
We don't.
We didn't, yeah.
Okay, I think the county would be, I've got an idea.
We'll ask for that. We'll ask for clarification of what those costs were.
Do you have any idea how long you're going to have the student at Radnor?
Until he completes the program.
Which is
That's, you don't know. I mean, I think it's the minimum it's so many weeks, but then that student has to get to a certain level. So at minimum, I think it's 12 weeks, I believe, somewhere in that vicinity. But that's at minimum. That's assuming he reaches that level all the time, which typically they don't.
Which that might be a question to ask too. Just to, I certainly would think that the judicial system should provide to the school district.
I don't feel bad paying for the education.
Absolutely.
Because that's what we do. That's what we would do for any regular and specialized student.
Okay. Well, yeah, it does. We'll try to figure out what's going
A
on.
bunch of hardcore board members, I don't know.
It's a pretty, I mean, from an outside eyes, that's a pretty hefty transportation bill. I agree with her.
I won't tell you what the senators said.
Balls in my court.
But you're responsible for that.
I'd like to call the WLBA portion of this board meeting together to order and ask you to approve the consent, or the agenda.
I move to approve the agenda. Second.
Have a motion to approve the agenda. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed. Motion carries. Agenda is approved. Move to the consent items. We have prior meeting minutes, bills, financial report. Of course, we have the same matter to discuss relative to Ravner
If I could,
that the community does, and I'm going to refer to John on that.
if I could field any questions on any of the other bills first, or minutes, and then we'll address and answer similarly. In our activity bills, there's a bill to the Lakeview Resort for cabin rental. It's not the Lakeview Resort in Lakeview. It's a resort in Missouri or Arkansas that the FFA program was at. So that's created some confusion already. Anything on the minutes or the other bills?
What about the O'Halloran International and Pioneer Manufacturing?
Okay, O'Halloran is bus parts and repairs this summer. And Pioneer is paint for football fields. And we bought some equipment for them also. We bought the big ice skate, a new sprayer.
We did.
So there's some equipment in that also. And it is, I think the paint itself runs $2,500 a year.
Biggest chunk of that, the biggest chunk of that is the one-time expense on the sprayer. I mean, that's not a recurring expense, at least.
And about half of your total bills this month is annual renewal property and liability insurance.
We just got that all back, so.
Well, I don't think they're making money on it right now.
Okay, so we need a motion to approve the bills with the exception of the Ravner.
Actually, it's the Northwest, or Madison Northwest Coast, or Community Special Ed bill.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, we have a motion.
I'll second.
And a second to pay the bills with the exception of the Madison Northwest Community Special Ed bill. Any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.